For most people, change feels incredibly difficult. You may decide to improve your habits, start a new routine, or become a different version of yourself. But after a few days or weeks, you often fall back into the same patterns again. It almost feels as if something inside your brain is resisting the change. And in many ways, that is exactly what is happening. Your brain is not designed to make your life extraordinary. Its primary function is much simpler: survival. For hundreds of thousands of years, the human brain evolved to keep us alive in dangerous and unpredictable environments. Because of this, the brain values stability and familiarity far more than transformation. From a neurological perspective, familiar patterns are safe patterns. When you repeat the same behaviors, thoughts, and emotional reactions over and over again, your brain strengthens specific neural pathways. These pathways become efficient circuits that require very little conscious effort to activate. Over time, many of your daily reactions stop being conscious decisions. They become automatic programs. These automatic behaviors are largely managed by structures deep in the brain known as the basal ganglia. Their role is to store routines and habits so that the brain can conserve energy. This is why driving a familiar route, brushing your teeth, or reacting emotionally in a certain way often happens almost automatically. Your brain prefers automation because it reduces cognitive load. But this efficiency also creates a challenge. Once a pattern becomes deeply wired into your neural circuits, the brain begins to treat it as the normal way things are supposed to happen. When you attempt to change that pattern, your brain may interpret the unfamiliar behavior as a potential threat. This reaction often involves the amygdala, a region responsible for detecting danger and activating the body's stress response. Even if the change you are trying to make is positive, such as adopting healthier habits or thinking differently about your future, the brain may still react with discomfort. This discomfort can appear as doubt, anxiety, procrastination, or a strong urge to return to familiar behaviors. In other words, your brain is not trying to sabotage you. It is simply trying to protect you using mechanisms that evolved long before modern life existed. From the brain's perspective, the unknown always carries risk. The familiar, even if imperfect, feels safer. This is one reason why people often remain stuck in routines that no longer serve them. The neural circuits representing those routines are strong, efficient, and predictable. Changing them requires something the brain naturally tries to avoid: sustained effort and uncertainty. However, modern neuroscience has revealed something remarkable about the human brain. Despite its resistance to change, the brain also possesses an extraordinary ability called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. When you consistently focus your attention on new behaviors, thoughts, or emotional responses, new neural pathways can begin to form. At first, these pathways are weak and unstable. The brain still prefers the older, stronger circuits it has used for years. But with repetition, attention, and emotional engagement, these new circuits can gradually strengthen. Over time, the brain begins to treat the new pattern as the new normal. What once felt uncomfortable or unnatural eventually becomes automatic. This is the same process through which every habit in your life was originally formed. Understanding this process can fundamentally change how you approach personal transformation. Instead of seeing resistance as failure, you begin to recognize it as a natural part of the brain's protective design. Change is not simply a matter of motivation or willpower. It is a biological process that requires time, repetition, and consistency. Each time you interrupt an old reaction and replace it with a new response, you are quite literally reshaping the structure of your brain. The more often you repeat the new pattern, the stronger the new neural circuit becomes. Eventually, the brain stops resisting and begins supporting the change. In this way, the brain that once resisted transformation becomes the same brain that sustains it. Understanding how the brain protects familiar patterns is the first step toward intentionally creating new ones.